All right, so this is where I got cut off. So we were talking about how to solve this. This is much like this one up here. 125 is not being divided immediately. This part needs division because it's divided into equal fair share amounts. But first, you've got to get rid of that 29. How are we going to get rid of it? We're going to subtract, right? So we're going to do 125 minus 29 first, as in me first. So we're going to line that up, and you're going to walk them through their steps. 9, 10, 11. All right. So then you've got 96 left, which needs to be shared with the 8. All right, so first step is to subtract, and then you're going to divide by 8 to get each person. So then we're going to do 96 divided by 8. Well, ding dong, 8s are here to visit, groups of 8. And I know that if you have 9 objects, you can make one group of 8, which is 8. That leaves 1. Sister subtracts, brother brings down, and if brother is around, you better go back up and tell Dad. Dad wants to know how many groups of 8 can be made out of 16. 2, and I know that because of Mommy's facts. 2 groups of 8 is 16. Write your answer, then the fact. This allows you to subtract. No one left. So there will be 12 people that went every day thereafter. All right, and this takes up most of the time because I think this was like 18 minutes. But then it's going to move faster. That's because that was multiple steps. And all you're doing tomorrow is practice, no assignment. All right, so you're talking about a rectangular billboard, blah, blah, blah. All right, kids, what do we highlight? We highlight perimeter, billboard, meters. All right, well, what shape are we talking about? Yeah, a rectangle. Do y'all see a rectangle drawn? No, so if the shape is not there, you draw. If you will draw and label, you won't make the silly mistakes. All right, well, what do we look? Let's label. Big number. See, I never liked it when it said meters wide and tall. I mean, tall, really? That's length. This is width, but whatever. I digress. If this is 9 and 3500th meters, then the opposite is 9 and 3500th meters. Get them to read it out loud. Then you're bringing back in the decimals, 9 and 3500ths, 6 and 8200th meters. And if this is 6 and 8200ths, this is 6 and 8200ths. All right, so I've labeled it. Well, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the rim-rim-rimeter. Where is the rim-rim-rimeter? It's all the way around. How do you find the perimeter? You add the sides together and write the unit down. All right, who can tell me the formula for perimeter? Perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths, because if you grab 2 lengths and 2 widths, you've made it all the way around. 2 lengths plus 2 widths. So 9 and 3500ths twice, and then 6 and 8200ths twice. So for me, I'm just going to line all these up with their decimal points. Now, I've never seen a perimeter one with a mixed number, but you never know because these are 4th grade numbers. So is perimeter. And I have seen one where on the grid they did have to use a decimal. So you definitely want to use them sometimes. So I would do 10 plus 4, so we've got 14. And then you've got 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 22, 23. And then I know that this is 18, 12, and 2, so that's 18 plus 14. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 32. Sorry, I have to think. All right, so the rim-rim-rimeter is 32 and 3400 meters all the way around. So we have our 1, 10, 100. Well, we don't have any hundreds. So 32 and 34th hundredths. You record and you bubble. And the formulas, if you have your star charts handy, the formulas are always on those star charts. All right? So girls read us about the water park pass, blah, blah, blah. We want to know how much more spent on season passes this year than last. All right, if I asked y'all for 4 major words, hopefully they should point out how much more than. Dun, dun, dun. How much more were this year than last? Oops, I broke my pencil. How many more are here than here? We want to know what's different about them. And if you want to know what's different, you want to know the difference, which is the answer to subtraction. Like 2 different teams, we don't add their scores. All right, well, do we know the whole amount for this year? Not really. Do we know the whole amount for last year? Not really. This one's kind of one of those hard ones. What do we know? We know a water park pass costs $85. So like you can think of a pass, a ticket, and I use drawings a lot. One pass is $85. That's what I do know. How many people went last year? Last year there were 35 people. So you draw you some people. They don't get arms or legs. We don't have time for that. And you just label 35. What do I know? I know that a pass is $85. So this person bought a pass and this person bought a season pass. And that would be 35 groups of 85. It'd be repeated addition. And this was LY. This was last year. This year, you have groups of people. La, 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 la. But this year, what do we know? Well, this year there are 45 people. Well, what do I know? I know that a pass is $85. So this one had to pay $85, and this one, and this one. Well, how many times? 45. Okay, so then over here we have 45 groups of 85. So that's going to be our first steps. That's 42. There's 15, 24, 25. So 2,975 last year. And then there's 5. That's 42. And then 20, 32, 33, 34. This year, 3,825. If I want to know how much more is here than here, we subtract. So it'd be 3,825, 2,975. And you'd go through your subtraction. All right. This one is one of these sneaky division ones. We want total canoes needed, all students to participate. All right. Do we have a whole amount in this word problem? Hopefully they say yes. All right, well, where are they? Right here. There are 39 students going on this trip. So again, draw it. You got all these people with no arms and legs. They're kind of creepy. And there's 39 of them. All right, what else do we know? We know that 4 kids can go on a canoe. So here's a canoe. 4 kids can fit at a time. And they want to know how many canoes do we need to get everybody on. Well, if you grab a group of 4 and put them in a canoe, grab another group of 4, put them in a canoe, another group of, what are we doing? It is subtraction, but if it's repeated subtraction, yeah, you're dividing, you're splitting them up. So what we need to do is split these 39 kids into groups of 4. Ding dong. Well, 4, what? Daddy wants to know how many 4s can go into 39. How many groups of 4 can we make? But Mommy's thinking, what times 4 is closest? The answer would be 9. I know that because I know 10 times 4 is 40, and I'm almost there. This is 36, so write the answer, then the multiplication of fact. This allows you to subtract. After sister subtracts, is there a brother to bring down? No, so we're talking about remainder 3. How many canoes do we need? If you say 9, did that grab everyone? No. These 3 kids are left out. Are we going to just say, too bad, y'all don't get to canoe? Losers. No. We want everyone to participate. If your remainders are people, you better go get a canoe for these 3 kids. So 9 canoes are full of 36. 3 more make the 39. So you're going to need 10 canoes. 9 for these and 1 more for those extras. These are these tricky division ones. All right, Kylie's having a good day, blah, blah, blah. We're going back into profit. Ask them, do y'all remember what profit is? Leftover money. Good. Is it just any time we subtract with money? No. No. If they say yes, bah, go the sheep. Profit deals with the business. There's a formula. Do they remember the formula? They may not. Well, the formula is you've got to take your earnings minus your expenses, and anything left over is profit. So it's leftover money when you're talking about a business. So if you earn money, what does that mean? Yeah, if you earn money, you make it. This makes you happy. Expensive sound like it's expensive, and it is. It is expensive to start a business. This is sadness. If you have things left over, hooray. So how does Kylie earn money? What business is she in? She's in the nail business. Well, how does she earn money? She charges her customers. How many customers? 5. All right, so she's got 5 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I know? Each pays $14. Each is a grouping word. They either each get grouped together or separate. You have to pay $14 for your nail service, and you, and you, and you, and you. Well, what do we see? Repeated addition, how many times? 5, all right? So we've got 5 groups of 14. 5 groups of 4 is 20. Do I carry? Yes, because the 1's waiting. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. She earns $70. That's not her profit. That's how much she made. What did she spend to get this nail business started? She spent 5, 3, and 2. So that's 5 plus 5. She spent $10. So she spent $10 to buy the supplies, but then she earned $70. If you take the earnings minus the expenses, she was left with $60. This is her profit. All right, carpenter builds bookshelves. I love it. In the end, after they read, what are we looking for? We're looking for nails, screws, use, build 15 bookshelves. Do you know how many screws and nails they need for all 15 bookshelves? No. So you're missing the whole amount. Is a whole amount big or small? It's big. How do you get big? You add or multiply. All right, well, are there any key words? Right there. Each. You either group each together or separate. Well, the one that matches what we need, multiply. Draw it. You got a bookshelf. Carpenter has this bookshelf. Carpenter. Each one requires 25 nails and 30 screws. Each one. Well, if you build 15 of these puppies, 15 bookshelves, and each one requires 25 nails, 30 screws, 25 nails, 30 screws. What are you seeing? You're seeing what? Repeated addition. How many times? 15. So what we have is 15 groups of what? You could do 15 groups of 25 and 15 groups of 30. I'm going to just combine, because in the end, that's all we're doing is combining them. So you've got 55 of them in this set, 15 times. So I'm going to have 55 groups of 15. That's 25. 25 plus 2 is 27. X, as in done with you. O, tic-tac-toe. Now I can go. Well, where are we going? We're going to the tens place. Tens have zeros. That's why you logged a 0 in before moving. That's 5 and 5. 825 in all. Those are 2 pages. And then you've got 2 more and you're like, dear God. Well, the other 2 are just really large, big pictures. So if I would tell the kids, this is a stem and leaf, do y'all remember how they log the numbers in on these graphs? Like what order? Hopefully they remember least to greatest. If not, you remind them. If you had a plant, which part do we not care about when we're given plants? Stems. Ugh, stems are ugly. Blech. Remember that all we ever count are the leaves. Why? Well, one, the leaves are prettier than the stems. But also because when you count these nines, you're already counting the stem, because looking at the key, number, stem, number means 36. So let's read these. This is 19, 19, 20, 21, 23, right. And we can see frequency. What does that mean? Yeah, how frequently do you see the number 49? 2 times. Good. So frequency. All right, look below. I want y'all to scan the question, and I would tell the kids that. I often tell them that after we've done a few together, especially this time of year. All right, what should I highlight? What am I summarizing? Good, I want a difference between what? Least number, greatest number. All right, well, if I know it's least to greatest, the least number is going to be the first one. What's the first number? 19. That's 19 practice times of jumping rope. What's the greatest? Well, the greatest should be your last number. Here's your greatest row. You have 63, 65, 66. Your greatest number is 66. A difference is answer to subtraction. So they subtract, and you'll get your answer, which you also could label difference. Anytime you can throw in your vocab. I like this one. You want the comparison to be true. Well, 2 dots say that this is greater than that. 2 dots are greater than 1. Well, I can't find what's greater until I know what's over here. So I'd ask the kids, what should we count first? Quarters, true. How many quarters make $1? 4. So there's $1. 25, then what? Dime, 35, 40, 41, 25, 35, 45, 50, 55. Oh, crap. Dollar. 25, 35, 45, 51. We've got $1.51. Whatever we put here needs to be greater than $1.51. All right, well, count your larger coins. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. There's $1. 25. Any dimes? No. Plus 5, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38. Is $1.38 more? No. All right. Quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's $1. Now what would we count? I would count dimes. 10, 20, 30, 40, plus the nickel, 45, 46, 47. Is $1.47 more than $1.51? No. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. 2 quarters. There it is. 50, 55, 56, 57. And I would tell the kids, not only do I want to see H, but you should show your proof with the labels. See what I mean? 2 questions. And then right here, I love the vocabulary. We want the sum. What is a sum? A sum is the answer to addition. All right, but it says you added 14 to a product. What's a product? A product is the answer to multiplication. So first you have to multiply 24, 12, 13, 14, 12, 13, XO, and then 4, 2, 2. That's the product, and I would label it. The answer to multiplication is a product. They added 14 to the product. Well, if I add 14 to this product, then the answer to addition will be a sum. So I love that they use this vocabulary. And then right here we've got our hierarchy. I'd ask them what a parallelogram has. How do you know you've got a parallelogram? Because you're parallel once, and you parallel twice, like a pair of L's. You're running side by side. Parallel, parallel, parallelogram. Make them do it. Parallel, parallel, parallelogram. Parallel, parallel, parallelogram. Parallel, parallel, parallelogram. So, a square is a parallelogram. A rectangle is a parallelogram. Who else is a parallelogram? Is a trapezoid a parallelogram? Should be an automatic no. Trapezoids are trapezoids because they only have one set of parallel sides. Parallelograms have two sets. Parallel once, parallel twice, parallelogram. Quadrilateral. Well, what is quad? Quad means four. Are all four-sided shapes parallelograms? No, because a trapezoid is a quadrilateral. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, but it is not a parallelogram because it only has one set. Triangles, you can't be parallel with a triangle. It's the rhombus. The rhombus is a square without the 90-degree angles. That should be some review. All right, I'd ask the boys or girls to read. And then, all right, the other ones, what are we looking for? We're looking for students who ride bus, Woodlands, Hillcrest, and Lakeview. So, Woodlands, Hillcrest, Lakeview. And I skipped one of my cardinal rules. You do not read the question until you check out the graph. So first, y'all better check out the graph like a book. Riding the bus to school. Well, what are these? These are the 5 schools. What do the numbers represent? Students. If they're skipping, you've got to find their pattern. I don't think they're counting by 1, 0, 1, 2. I don't think it's 10, 0, 10, 20. When I see this, I see money. 0 cents, 50 cents, $1. Think, what kind of money? Quarters. 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. $1, $1 1 quarter, $1 2 quarter, $1 3 quarters. $2. $2 1 quarter, $2 2 quarters, $2 3 quarters, and so on. All right, well, we want Woodlands, Hillcrest. So Woodlands, 250, 225, Lakeview is 300. Extra. So 300 plus 250 plus 225. 4 plus, so 775 students. The end. Cha-ching.